Hello and welcome to a new video series that we're going to be doing called I Need Your Opinion. How this stuff is going to work is I'm going to have you guys comment your opinions about a hero. I'll talk about mine, and basically we'll do a second follow-up video where I will read out your comments and we'll discuss it in a healthy and respectful manner. So a lot of you were a big fan of this when I did the little community thing. See, you guys really like this type of stuff. So if this can be really successful, we're going to continue. We're going to talk about heroes, gameplay states, balance patches, different compositions, and it'll just like, we discuss the game a lot. I love talking about the game. You guys like talking about the game, and I will read your comments and we will cover it in the video. So please make sure to drop your comments down below and tell me your opinions on Genji. Now it is my turn to talk about it, so I hope you stick around for the video and let's talk about Genji because I have a lot of interesting things to say. So those of you who know, Genji is my main hero. I received the top 500 rank with him back in Overwatch 1. Since then, I've transitioned over to more of a coaching role and kind of just, enjoying the game for what it is and not necessarily taking it overly seriously nowadays, since the game itself is struggling, finding what it wants to be, what it wants to do. So I might as well just give the game some time to cook, reach a point where I think it's healthy to invest in competitive again. But that's not the point. Point is, we're talking about Genji. Genji is a hero that stood out to me by far for a lot of different reasons. I loved the Dragon Short. I'm a huge fan of his ship with the Mercy. I don't understand why they don't just canonize that by now. They've done more than enough things. They did the Valentine's Day, they did the White Day voice line, really important in Asian culture. Those things are. They did the whole Tanzaku Tanbata festival, which is another thing that couples celebrate in Japan, especially. It's like a big deal over there. And then then they gave them like very, very, very interesting and suggestive voice lines in the Storm Rising event. So big fan of their ship. I think it's really soft and wholesome. Then obviously the dynamic with Hanzo. So Genji and Hanzo, I'm sure anybody that's a League of Legends fan can immediately link these two up to perhaps Yasuo and Yone. There's a bit of a parallel over there. There's a bit of a stereotype, the Japanese characters tend to follow. Excuse me, I'm a bit way too excited to talk about this character. So the lore and all of this aside, I can go about the lore stuff for a while now, but in terms of gameplay, what do I enjoy about this character? The thing is, there was a time where I wasn't really enjoying first-person shooters anymore because I just couldn't find any of them unique. They all just felt like the same thing with nothing new to offer. And once I came across this character, I felt a completely new spark in my life that, damn, this is such a different gameplay offering that I've ever experienced, that I sunk over. I think now I'm closing in on maybe 4 or even 5,000 hours. I don't know how long I've been playing Overwatch, but I've not just been playing Genji. I've played every hero. I've learned every hero to the best of my ability. But Genji is definitely the one that I've invested the most hours in, and his gameplay offering is so amazing. The way you approach the game with his poke is so different compared to every other character. You have to manage 3 different projectiles. I think that is a skill on its own if you really understand how to do that. But it takes a lot of time to get used to them. People still don't understand where to use the left and right clicks interchangeably. So there's a big skill aspect to that, and not just that, lining those projectiles up, keeping them consistent. It is such a satisfying feeling once you get that going that I really still have not been able to find in any other game, and that's why I still keep coming back to Overwatch. That's why I still keep coming back to this hero. So that's my love for this hero. That's why I enjoy playing this hero. Not to mention Dragon Blade, the big pop-off moments. No other game has been able to replicate that, and honestly, I love this character for it. He has the best of everything. And then Deflect. There are so many ways to be creative with Deflect. I am the Grav Deflect extraordinaire. If you guys have not seen one of my previous videos, in my Overwatch 1 lifespan, I was able to record at least most of my Grav Deflects, and I legitimately made a 15-minute video out of deflecting Graviton surges. Do you know any other Genji player that can do that? No, I take pride in that because I'm very happy with myself for doing that in the 5-6 years that Overwatch 1 was out. So that aside, there's not just that about Genji that I really love about him. I think there's, a charm to his personality as well. I know I'm kind of circling back to some of the lore stuff, but I have to talk about it because it's my opinion. I like Genji a lot from the personality-wise as well. He's very calm. He's somebody who's been through a lot in his life. And as a character, as a reference point, you can use that to also understand that once you go through hardships, humbling yourself and learning from your mistakes is a great way to grow as a person, and finding peace within yourself to then be the best version of yourself, which is the Genji that we now see today. And I'm sure if we take that as a life lesson to follow in the footsteps of, then we can be the best versions of ourselves. Now, back to the gameplay thing, there's a couple of other things I like about Genji as well. For example, in the game, I feel like one thing that's not talked about Genji enough is Genji is one of the very few genuine hit scan answers in the game. Genji's entire kit, the way I've seen it in Overwatch 1, I feel like I was the only coach and the only content creator. Granted that I was very small back in the day. I was talking about like how Genji is genuinely the only answer to hit scans in the game. A lot of the way that hit scans interact with other characters in the game can feel so oppressive, but once Genji gets into position, gets into place, hit scans can, like, they really do something against it. That doesn't mean that Genji just directly hard counters hit scan. He's a soft counter, but like any bad hit scan players that don't know how to anticipate the dive that Genji is going for or where he's coming from, you can make a mockery out of those hit scan players. Like the Cassidy Genji matchup is a classic matchup that, you know, is one of the, I would actually argue the best, one of the best skill matchups in Overwatch over the entire Overwatch lifespan. You know, anticipating his grenade, like him anticipating your next move, trying to track your body, you trying to become unpredictable. It's such a fun matchup. Like whether I'm playing Cassidy, whether I'm playing Genji, I always enjoy that matchup, you know, because it always feels like the better player wins. It doesn't feel like we cheated each other out of anything, right? Like there's enough on both sides. So I really enjoyed about Genji. What I like about Genji as well is, like, from a gameplay perspective, he's a character that can pair with a lot of the ultimates in the game. He's amazing to play with Illari's ult and just Illiari in general. Juno is a really fun character that he complements with his playstyle as well. Sorry, other way around. Juno complements his playstyle really well. She can enable Blade to really pop off. Seriously, if you have not used the Juno ultimate combo with Genji, when you bring up the Orbital Ray and the Dragon Blade comes out in Hanaoka or the Anubis maps, like, oh my god, it is so fun and satisfying. It's like Nano Blade on steroids. It's crazy. It's actually really fun to do. And yeah, I like him. I think he's extremely healthy for the game. He doesn't really have any I cheese this or I cheese that abilities. He requires a lot of skills. There's more than enough soft and even, I would argue now, hard counters for him in the game. But if you are very skilled on the character, you can definitely make him work. Now, there's going to be some circumstances where you will not be able to make him work. So it's important to understand where that is and, you know, swap off the character. But besides that, I think another thing I like about this character is that he has incredible depth. So once you start playing him, like once you start understanding him, you just kind of want to stick with him, because you, like, all the other characters in the game do not give you that same feeling. I would argue perhaps Tracer and Doomfist and maybe Wrecking Ball are those characters that can give you that feeling of, damn, I can do even more, I can do even more, I can do even more. And that's what gets you addicted to the gameplay. At least that, for me, is what got me addicted to Genji. And then similarly, I got addicted to Tracer and Doomfist as well. Now, talking about the balanced state of Genji, let's talk about that a little bit, give my opinions on it. I'm okay with where Genji is right now. I'm looking forward to the nerfs that is coming to tank. It's an indirect Genji buff. I'm looking forward to some of the changes to the rest of the roster. I think Genji is definitely having a better time now where characters are 225. I think he's a little bit in a better spot. I definitely think that he can still use the 28 shurikens. My opinion has not changed on that. I'm okay, and I've made peace with where Blade is now. I'm completely okay with it now. I use it like a mini pulse bomb where you use it to maybe get 1 or 2 important kills, and then you can carry with your shurikens from that point on. Trust me, it's just a playstyle you have to adapt. Maybe I might make a video on how to carry with Genji in 2024, since I do know a lot of you guys are big Genji fans, so I might do that as well. If you're interested in that, let me know in the comments down below. So with that being said, you know, I have to ask realistically, like, you know, where do we take Genji from here? Like, what is the way forward for him? Do we need to give him any different changes? Do we need to do something different with him? Does he need a rework by any chance? In my opinion, I've seen some talks about it. No, I don't think he needs a rework. I think he's by far one of the healthiest characters in the game. If anything, like I said, just give him the damn 28 shurikens. Like, just, he's had that since the beginning of Overwatch 1. It wasn't ever broken. I don't understand why we're on 27. Just go 28. If more characters come down to the 225 HP, it won't be that bad. But I still think, you know, 28 shuriken damage is not going to be a bad thing. Regardless, that's my opinions on Genji at the moment, and I think from a balance perspective, I wouldn't want to buff anything else. I think he's fine as is. The people that play him, that are really good at him, are going to be very good at the character, and then the people that are learning him will definitely feel the effects of, like, holy shit, this Moira makes my life a living hell, the Winston. But trust me, guys, if you're good at Genji, if you're understanding how to play him, you can definitely give any Moira and Winston player a run for their money. You just have to be really smart with how you approach those matchups. I will do a video in the near future on Genji's matchup guide, because a lot of the old ones by KarQ and others are somewhat outdated, so keep an eye out for that if you guys are interested. And now with that being said, I do want to know, what do you guys think? Let me know, what do you guys think about Genji's lore? What do you think about his character, his personality, his relationships with the cast members? What do you think about his gameplay state? What do you think should be done for him? Do you think he's in a good spot? Do you think he's in a bad spot? What rank are you that makes you feel this way? Obviously, I'm not gonna rip into your rank or anything, but I will try to give some sort of, you know, advice on how to get better. So again, if you don't understand how this video format works, I will be reading all your comments down below, and we will be talking about it in another video. So most likely tomorrow's video will be reading your comments about, you know, Genji, or your opinions on Genji, and then we'll, you know, have a video like that. And I think it'll be interesting to see everybody's viewpoint. So be sure to drop a comment, and also be sure to check out the follow-up videos in order to have a healthy discussion with me, as always, in the comment sections. And be respectful, do not be a weirdo. With that being said, I appreciate your time, your attention. It means the world to me. With that being said, I will see you guys in tomorrow's video.